This is my little 2 cents worth. I'm not little either, but I'm not a financial expert or a money guru, or have a business or anything. And I've always seen when people talk about money or certain things, and it's just hard for me to fathom, But people make about $18 an hour right now, and they think, wow, that's a lot of money. But with inflation and all, people don't realize the value of everything. That's probably about $12 an hour because our wages hadn't kept up with everything. So really, you ain't making no money. You think you are, but people aren't going to work for like a little bit of nothing now if they work. But they fool them and say, "Oh, we'll give you $18 or $20 an hour," and people jump on it. But it's really not that much money, not considering how everything's gone up in price. It's about $12 an hour. It's no big deal. They could pay you $50 an hour and wouldn't be no big deal. They wouldn't like it because it's money that they want for other things. But anyway, I don't think this is my personal opinion. A lot of people probably disagree with me because people love the fear and being scared and all that. But I don't think we're going into we might go into a recession, but things could be moving in the world to come up under one system. They're talking about everything. I seen a crazy video right now where in Asia and China, they just had all these people. And I was like, man, I wouldn't be able to run like that. Where are they all going? And some people walking slow. So that was good. But they just had thousands of people, that were all running. And they said they were trying to get their PCR, and I had to look it up because the video didn't explain it. But they were doing COVID test, and China's doing a COVID test every day, and you had to have an app that stays green at the time of the video when it was made, whenever it was. I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but some of these videos will be 2 or 3 years and pop up because sometimes I get to watching YouTube shorts, and they're like, you see videos and you don't know what it is, but it's like first time you've seen it. But anyway, they had to keep their social app, green, and they had to have a COVID negative test every day, or they wouldn't allow it in certain parts of the city because they were trying to slow the COVID infections and breakouts and all that. Because they have a breakout over there, there's so many people, they can have 40, 50, 100 people like within a couple of days, and it could spread like wildfire. So all these people running, it was nighttime, and they were all running to go get the test. I guess because they didn't want to wait in line. It's not long, but you got 10,000 or 10 million people getting tested. Those are pretty long lines, and you can't go anywhere without having a negative test, the beach or anywhere. So all these people working, they couldn't go get a job, couldn't go to a job without it. So I guess they're having to run real early so they can get tested so they're not late for work. So, some I remember when I worked in a job I worked at, we went to China, Hitachi. They were working 18 hours a day with no overtime. We got overtime at least, but I guess that's why we went out of business. But I've had several jobs, went out of business, and you always make it. I looked on Google, you know how the internet is, but Google was saying like 2015, only 59% of the eligible workforce was working, the age group. So what does that tell you? Only half the people are really working. The other people might have part-time jobs, and some of those half that are working 2 jobs. So if you think about that, it's probably less than half the people in the country are actually working. And then there's an underside economy that it's not on digital currency, but it's people get cash, so they buy stuff at flea markets, and there's a lot of underside economy that probably supports 40% of the people doing that. You never know. So you got half the people in the U.S. that are working. So, a lot of them would be able to, and if you got social programs and everything, so a lot of even if we have a bad recession and the whole world don't come under one economy and all that. Now, if the whole world comes under one economy and one system that counts everything, they monitor everything you do, which would be some major overhaul in computer programming, artificial intelligence. Then maybe, they'll be able to watch everything you are, and it'd ruin the social economy, and it'd be crazy. But as our system currently stands, I think we could go through we're already in a recession, they say, and a lot of it, there's no supply chain. People can't buy nothing. There's a lot of money that's just sitting there, people holding on to things. So when people will still be able to make it for a while. And if it gets too crazy, it would it'd be bad. So if you cut off the social programs, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, if you cut off all that, unemployment insurance, if you cut all these programs that help people when they need it, that'd be probably half the U.S. would be affected by that. And then, other people be still paying in it. So you'd probably have you'd have total chaos, and the whole thing would flip. That's why they don't let it go. If they need more money, they just keep printing it. Now, once that quits, then they're going to have to come up with a system to fix this, because if we keep printing money like it's going out of style, eventually something's going to give. But until that happens, everybody will still be all right. They're not going to, I don't think they're going to come in your house and raid everything and take your food, or cut off your power. You need all these people to do everything for the economy to survive. So yeah, I don't think we're going to have a major upset, or look at the Persian Gulf War, when we went to war, and everybody laid off back then, but people still working. It just got tight. You couldn't go buy anything. You had to buy what you needed. So if you got money, invest in things that people need. Don't invest in things that people want. If they just want things, invest in what people have to have. If you invest, buy what you have to have. Don't buy what you want. And if you do that with a recession or a good economy, you'll still be better off, because you're not getting hooked on a bunch of materialistic stuff that's just going to tear up and fall apart anyway. So, but I think America will be all right. Some other countries are probably going to feel it a lot worse, where there's no checks and balances, where the government kind of do whatever they want, or certain political regimes can do what they want. It don't matter what it is. It's not really fair. There's a lot of that here, but it's not. It's still more checks and balances and accountability, and to an extent, people are people no matter where they are in the world. But I think it's just a lot. People just always preaching fear, doom and gloom, but if you depend on the right one, Jesus, Jesus Christ, and no offense, but that's what I believe, and not preaching, just stating what I believe, then you'll be all right. No matter what happens, he'll take care of you. And that's how I believe he's going to take care of my wife. I just wanted to share that, because every time I turn on YouTube, it's like, man, the economy's going to crash. And then you see the same guys talking about, well, what you need to invest in, So I was like, well, you talking about the economy crashing. Why do I want to invest my money and tie it up if I need it, So, you just got to look at the whole facts, and somebody's consistently saying it, or, what's the reason behind things. And, I like doing YouTube because it's a way to remember things. And no medical advice here, no financial advice, no religious advice or anything, just me. So get all my disclaimers out, because I like doing YouTube. I like sharing my thoughts with people, and hopefully it helps somebody, or makes them think about things, or gives them a good laugh. That's the main thing. And also I get to test. My mom was saying her last husband she don't think he's doing right now. He had wild eyes, and I'm thinking, Well, I hope I'm not here when I get to that point. She said, well, you won't know it. So hopefully I can watch YouTube and I can watch back like 10, 15 years, say, well, I still think the same way. So I guess I'm okay. I hadn't lost my mind yet. It's got to be the coffee. No medical advice there. I'm just kidding. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Don't worry about this doom and gloom. Just don't buy a bunch of junk you don't need, and just get what you need, and save what you can and buy what you need. Don't worry about spending every dime you got on stuff. And because, the supply chain's bad anyway. You're not probably going to get what you want. And, so, just be reasonable. Our country's been through a whole lot worse. Used to, people didn't even have running water in their house. They had an outhouse outside. Some of them didn't even have that. Now it's against the law not to have that. So what does that make you think? The law is making you have running water and all in your house. It created a whole new company, and, so just don't worry about all the doom and gloom. We're going to be all right. There's a purpose for everything, and we're going to survive. And, just don't do crazy things or spontaneous things. Just think about things and kind of have if you can't think in your head without getting sidetracked or drawn into the latest and greatest, just kind of write it down and don't make an impulse decision on anything. If you go in a store, because they're trained to get you emotionally involved, to seize the moment and get a spontaneous decision. Well, that's when you mess up. You sign that dotted line and you're liable for whatever you sign for. So just don't make a rash decision on anything. But if you save your money, and like invest if you can, if you trust it, just educate yourself. You're not going to learn it in school. And be careful. If you see somebody successful and you're friends with them, or make friends with somebody successful, and you can learn some wisdom in them, because a lot of stuff's not learned in books, or movies or TV. There's a lot of things people have done and they share it. Like a lot of stuff you hear on YouTube that people share, and it's really good advice. But then, they share what they did, but they don't tell all the things they did. They don't tell the emotional struggles they had to go through, the self-doubt, the overcoming of yourself. Because a lot of times yourself is your worst enemy, or the people you have around you. So they don't tell you all the struggles they had to go through to break through the barrier. And most people that get through those barriers, a lot of times they're not surrounded by people that don't want to do anything, just stay at one level. They've moved on. They've went to a different realm of interaction with people, because you got to keep going. And if you're around a bunch of roadblocks, it's hard to keep going your speed you need to go, if you understand what I'm saying. So, just believe in yourself, keep going, and think about things before you do them, especially financially, because those can get you in trouble for years, But I just wanted to share that. I know I'm rambling on, but thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all having a good day. I'm going to finish my coffee and enjoy the rest of my day off. And my mom keeps calling while I'm making this video. But we'll talk to you guys later. Y'all stay cool.